stay tuned, and I'm going to show you how to make these cute little fabric bowls. You can use them in your sewing room, your craft room, or anywhere. In your office too. Okay, so I have this, that's my basket, but I don't particularly like it. I want something pretty, you know what I'm saying? So I made this pattern. This video is coming out late because I've been working on this pattern all day. I'm not even kidding. I seen some and I thought, I could just make one of my own. I didn't copyright this or anything. I literally folded paper after paper after paper and cut paper to get this right here. And then I traced it out on some plastic. So you'll need this pattern. And then you're going to need, these are great for fat quarters or scrap fabrics. And I wanted some to match what I'm going to decorate this room in. My new fabric I got like a long time ago, but I switched rooms and everything. But it's too big. It's too busy for these little bitty baskets that I'm going to make. And so I picked this. It matches my yellow walls anyway, which I can't stand. But anyways, you're going to need your main fabric. And then I'm not using batting. This is thin, real thin felt from the Dollar Tree. Okay. I don't even know if they sell this felt anymore. You may be able to find it at yours. But thin felt or very thin batting is what you're going to need, because we're going to quilt this. Now, I don't want to quilt this one because of the colors in it, the things in it, but I'll show you one that I quilted. Let me see if you can see this. This one's been quilted, okay? There's that blooming iron. It never fails, does it? So I'm not going to do that with this one because of the decoration in it. So I'm just going to stitch it. But while my iron's on, you need a piece of thin, thin. This is the lightest interfacing, fusible interfacing that you can get. I buy it at Walmart. You can buy it wherever. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to iron on a piece of this right to my fabric. Now when you iron interfacing, remember, don't start going like that because you'll wrinkle the whole thing. Just set a dry iron on here and there until you get it pressed down. Then maybe you could go over it, but don't push, just lightly, because it will wrinkle. Okay, I have my interfacing nice and ironed down, and I am just going to cut around my interfacing and just eliminate the excess fabric. Here is all I'm doing. I know I've had some of you ask where I've been, and I do apologize for the delay, and I've been gone so long. Sometimes we just need time to ourselves. You know how writers get writer's block? Well, I guess I've had crafter's block. And before Christmas, I was trying my best to, get stuff out. And everything I did seemed to just fall apart. I don't know. I couldn't do it. So I'll be honest with you. I took time off because I've been on some cholesterol medicine and it was working at first. My cholesterol's dangerously high. It was working at first, but what it done was it started making me where I was having chest pains and stuff like that. It was a Stanton they had me on, a low dose Stanton, and it just made me really sick. I've got muscle weakness, brain fog, as if that was not a problem before, but it's a little worse. And it's just one thing after the other with my medicine. But God's got this. God's got this. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking my pattern, and I'll try to remember to have this marked for you. This is permanent marker, but it does wipe off. I'll try to have this pattern in my Facebook group as soon as I can. But now off me and onto this. But either way, I'm back, and sorry for the inconvenience that some of you have stressed to me. But you miss me, and I do appreciate that. So I want to make an X in this. Okay, just to hold this stabilizer to my fabric. Now you can baste it if you want to, but it wrinkles for me, so I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna take my ruler here, and I'm just gonna take a pencil when I find it, and I'm going to mark where I'm gonna be sewing. Okay, now I'm going to mark this side. Y'all, I have some tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you, and this is one of them. You're going to love it, I promise. But I'm getting some gathered up. I'm thinking on it and getting them ready to go. But anyway, now I'm just going to connect these lines. Okay, and like I said, you can baste this down with basting spray, but to me it wrinkles, and I don't like the wrinkles. So I'm going to go sew my X right here, and you can do one this way and one this way if you want to. I think I will, to be honest with you. And I know y'all want me honest with you. So all I'm doing is matching these up. Y'all, I'm going to have to make lines on this whole thing for y'all. I will do that, I promise. So I need to go here and here. Oh, why am I moving that? And then I'm going to go here and here. I'm doing this with a pencil because you're not going to see it anyway. And a pencil shows up great. Look, I missed. A pencil shows up great, so you know it works for me. You can even use an ink pen if you want to. That's up to you. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put a few pins in here just to hold this while I get my lines in, because I don't want anything to move. Okay. Now, if you noticed, I wasn't backstitching or nothing. I just was sewing right down through there because it ain't gonna matter, because we're gonna cut that out anyway. So you didn't have to do all that right there. But now all I'm gonna do is gonna take my pattern. I'm gonna put it down here like I had it. Okay. And I have mine on plastic. I have another one I put on 2 pieces of poster board or you know, heavy cardstock will work. And then now I'm just going to trace this out. Okay, I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to go right in here and start tracing. Now you'll have to pick your pencil up. You can't do a continuous all the way around because it'll bunch up, especially where I don't have my magnets. It's going to bunch up. I want my lines dark because I can't see. Alright. This is not hard. And they're so stinking cute when you're done. I'm telling you. They're handy little things. You can make these and sell them. I might make some and sell them in my on my Facebook store. I don't know, but anyway, once I get this traced on here real good, I'm going to cut these out at the same time, and that's kind of important. Yeah, it's on there. I'm happy with that. So what I'm gonna do is, I know this is gonna be an in. This is my inside, and it'll be right sides together when I sew it. So I'm going to make sure that I have the fabric underneath. Okay, make sure you have it under there on all sides. All right. Now I'm going to stick some pins in here to hold these two together. Very important that you hold these two together. I don't like those, they're not flat enough. Because we're going to be cutting them out together. So therefore, I'm going to be putting a lot of pins in this, okay? And that's just because I don't want my stuff shifting. Actually, these would be better if you go from the inside to the out, but you want to be close to the edge, okay? Get as close to the edge as you can. It's very important because you want to, like I said, cut these out the same, and if you're off any, it's going to mess you up. And the reason I'm cutting them the reason I'm cutting them together, okay, I'm just going to be honest with you, I made this pattern, okay? Honest is the best way to be. That's the only way I am, okay? I'm very bluntly honest sometimes, and I hate that, but how is it that I'm getting only yellow pins? Ain't that weird? That is so weird. Anyway, the things I noticed. The reason I'm cutting these out the same, and I'm gonna put a number on them, because I made this pattern. Okay, I made this bad boy, and I'm not sure that it's perfect. Because you know, when you start folding paper and then cutting folds of paper, you know, it's kind of uneven in places, and I'm just going to make sure that when I sew this, I ain't going to have no trouble, you know what I mean? So they'll match. This one will match with the one underneath, I promise. If it don't, then I'm scrapping the whole video and you'll never know I made it. But anyway, when I get this all pinned down, like right now, okay, I'm going to flip it over and make sure that it's all secure back here, okay? Oh my goodness. Okay. Now I'm just going to take my scissors, and the easiest way that I found to cut this out, even the pattern, okay, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut around this, but I'm not cutting it out yet, because you see when you go down you have to go around. This is just the easiest way, okay? And I'm about easy stuff. I ain't about this, you know, complicated. My brain can't handle complicated. This is why we didn't backstitch. So what we're going to do, what we're going to do is take my scissors and I'm going to go right down my mark, okay? And I'm going to do this on each side and pop my little darts out. These will be darts. It's just like a bowl cozy, but this is going to be taller, a little bit taller than a bowl cozy, or well, any bow cozies I've made. You know, to hold my little doodads. I know it's going to be cute, y'all. I've already made a couple so I know it's going to be cute. You know, I had to try my pattern before I gave it to you. So I'm gonna stop rambling. Once you got those cut out, you can pick it up. Just make sure you smash them together. I would rather pick them up to smash them together, to know that they're together. And I'm just gonna go around all my marks here. Now, I'm gonna take this, and it's already together, okay? So this is how we're gonna sew it. But we gotta sew our darts up first. So I'm gonna take all my pins out, okay? And then I am going to mark my pieces with a 1 and a 2, just so I know which piece goes with the piece that it belongs to. Because like I said, I made this pattern and I know it works, but I don't trust them to be the same, because I know how things work. I don't trust myself, okay? I just don't trust myself. So I'm going to take my water soluble marker or pen, okay? This is a Frixon, and it's heat, you know, it's erasable and it's heat and all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this back, okay? This is going to be my number 1. This will be my number 1, because I know those two go together. This right here will be my number 2, and this will be my number 2. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pin nothing. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to sew my darts, okay? I'm going to move my needle all the way that way against my presser foot. This will be against my presser foot, so it's all the way over that way. Now, if you notice, I took and I backstitched here, but you don't have to backstitch at the end of the dart. So when you trim your threads, trim the top, but leave your dart threads out, because it doesn't matter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this inside out, this one right here, okay? And I would iron it, but my numbers are there and they will go away. So I will save the ironing for later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my number 1 right here, okay? So my number 1 is right there. And I'm going to place this in number 1, and then my number 2 and my number 2. They should match up just fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull seam to seam, okay? Match seam to seam, and these should match perfect, okay? And I am going to place a pin in mine, okay? Right there at the top. And then I'm going to go through here again, pulling, matching top to top, okay? Match your tops. Seams, your seams will match. Just pull these two together. And the reason I put stabilizer on this, you do not have to put stabilizer on there, but the reason I do is because it makes it stiffer, so that when you're putting your darts in, it's not shifting and making your fabric all wonky. And it also helps to make your bowl stand up a little bit stiffer. And like I said, people use batting for this, just like, you know, not flannel batting, good lord, what am I saying? Cotton batting, but it's really thick and it's hard to turn because these are tiny bowls and you don't have much room. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. You don't have a lot of room to turn these, and a lot of people leave the top open, or would leave the top open because that gives you more room. Well, I ain't going to do it. I'm going to find a side, a pretty good side, and I'm going to leave a side open, alright? Because leaving the side open is a whole lot better because then you don't have a flat. I'd have a flat top. Am I in the frame? I don't even know. I would have a flat top. So I'm gonna leave this side right here open. So I'm gonna start right at my corner here. Okay, I'm gonna try to hold that down so you can see. And I'm gonna back stitch, and I'm gonna go down, and then I'm gonna put my needle down. And you need a 12. I would do a 12 needle because it's kind of thick. Okay, and then go around the next one. Make sure you push your seams down. When you get to that seam, put your needle down, turn again, and then start. And I'm going to do this all the way around, okay? All the way around. Stop. Now I'm almost where I was here, so I'm gonna stop about midways. Now I backstitched. Now you don't have much room, but you have enough room in your hole to turn it. Or I always say things wrong. I'm gonna clip here and here on each corner, and then I'm gonna put some clips, don't clip your thread, across my curves, so that way it would help it to lay flatter. So I'm gonna go through here and clip it. Now I had to open my hole a little bigger, but what you're going to do is make sure you go down through these fabrics here and just flip your bowl. Once you get these curved, don't clip where your open hole is, because you won't get it to lay back down. So start your fabric coming up, okay? If you have trouble, take the bigger end of a stick or pencil. Where am I? Or something like that. Stick it in, push it against your stomach or whatever, and start working your thing through your hole, your fabric through your hole, your stick and your fabric through your hole. And then it looks like an umbrella. Just keep pulling and working with it, and that helps it to come out, I promise. Look, there it is. Now while your stick's in there, just go ahead and poke out all your little petal curves thing. This is like a flower. This is a flower bowl pattern. I probably didn't even say that, but that's why the curves are in it, and that's why it took me so stinking long. You could probably find a soup bowl koozie or something and make a bowl the same, but I really, really love the look of the flower petal look. You know, it looks so fancy, and it was so stinking cute, and I had to have one. So, anyway, finish poking this out. Y'all can't even see what I'm doing. Let me finish poking this out. This is a little tip to get your edges. It works most of the time. Just roll it between your fingers, and it'll squish your edges right out there. You have to pull and tug on this a little bit, but if you just roll it, your edges will come out beautifully, and they'll meet. Oh my goodness, it's just such a fantastic trick. I mean, seriously, if you can get it to roll. Sometimes they don't roll, but look at that, right on the edge. Love it. Love, love, love it. You're welcome. Make sure you get all these out. Now that one and that one and that two and two is going to disappear when I get my iron on it, okay? But make sure you roll all these out, get these out, push that back down, push that down in there. You're going to want that down in there. Oh my goodness. It's cute. It's cute. It's cute. Okay, so for this right here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the iron board, and I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to try my best to make this as round as I can and just iron it together, okay? Because we're going to be sewing all around this. It is so hard to get this rounded, so just iron it the best you can, okay? That's all I know to tell you. Just do the best you can. So now what you're going to do, and that's kind of bright, ain't it? I'm sorry. Is you're going to top stitch right around this, and see where I put those together? Oh, that's bright. Sorry, this is so terrible. It's not the prettiest. It's not. But this is why I said you need a 12 needle, if not a 14, because it's kind of thick through here. But I'm just going to run my needle over to the edge, and I'm going to go to the edge of my inside of my foot, on the inside, not the outside. And I'm carefully going to start where my oh, when you iron this, iron one petal at a time. Just put the tip of your iron in there because it does wrinkle, okay? But I'm going to start right here because I don't want them to come apart. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to top stitch around the top first. Now when you're sewing this, make sure you keep this flat, okay? And you may have trouble when you come against or come over your humps here. Depends on what machine you have. My Singer does pretty well. Personally, I would rather sew on my vintage machines any day because they go through anything. So if you can get your hands on a vintage machine, by all means, do it. You'll love it. You won't regret it. But I'll take an awl. This is an awl, okay? A pokey tool, whatever you can do, and I put that behind there, and I'll just I quit showing you because you can't see me because my camera's in a bad angle, but I'll pull back there with that awl, and it keeps your fingers out of the way, and then that will help me go around my next curve, see? And as you will hear this, I'm not going anywhere. So once again, I will take my awl, put it back there. It won't rip your fabric, and just give it a little tug back there. That's all you got to do. So now we have it. Clip your threads and you have your bowl. Now you can leave it like this, with the inside like this, or let me turn that light down. Or you can sew it like I'm fixing to. So what I'm gonna do, now make sure you have a thick needle in here. You can use a 16G needle. You can't see me what I'm doing, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna take, and at each one of my little lines here, sorry, there's a car went down the road. I'm very close to what. Anyway, I'm just gonna go from this line down and up this line. Okay, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me put my needle in the middle. Now it might be hard to start at first. Pick it up and try again. Now I'm not going to backstitch because I had so much trouble. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out to make sure there's no fabric being caught, and I'm going to go right down my inside line. Okay, and I'm going to come back on this line. Alright, so let me show you. See right here, it just looks like part of the little quilting lines that I did. I'm gonna clip my threads right now. See, went right down that seam. So I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna go around each seam like that and make my so that it doesn't, you know, it'll make it stiffer and it won't come apart. Now there's two things I'm gonna tell you. I did have a jean needle in there. It's a size 16G needle, y'all. And I forgot actually that I put that in there because I was sewing something thick the other day. And so you really want a good thick needle. And I flipped it inside out because I don't care what the inside looks like. It's going to be full. But I wanted my outside lines to be right. So I flipped it inside out. Okay, and once I clip as much as I can, I like to take a lighter, okay, and I'll just singe my thread. Now don't hold it there a long time, but this will seal your threads down and keep them from fraying. But if you leave them there too long, you'll burn it. And you do not want to burn it. It'll smell like it's burning as it is, but clip them as close as you can, and then you can, you know, singe them back a little bit. And there it is. Well, shoot. Oh, ain't that prettier? Look, it's so pretty. Look at the detail in this. It might be complicated a little bit, but honey, it is so worth it. I love it. I might make some more of these. I don't know. I need to iron this one back down, but it's so cute. I would just like to tell y'all thank you for watching, and comment and let me know if you're going to make any of these. These are so stinking cute. I made this one, you know, with y'all. I made this one off camera, and I quilted this one. This was one of my trial ones. This is a little one, and it's so stinking cute. And then of course you've seen this one that I quilted, but I didn't do anything to seal the inside, see? So it can, and these are all washable. They're all washable. So if you, like me, and drink coffee while you're crafting and you spill your coffee, you can wash it. But anyways, y'all be blessed, because y'all are a blessing to me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, goodbye.